10 Cats. Posh Toddy, Tara Palmer-Tomkinson. American Dream, Doug Stanhope. And their team captain, Sean Locke. And facing them tonight, Sweden's greatest export, Ulrika Jonsson. Funny Boyo, Rhod Gilbert. And their team captain, Jason Manford. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 1 in 10 Europeans is now conceived on an IKEA bed? And for similar reasons, I'm no longer welcome at the Croydon branch of DFS. 26% of New Yorkers have herpes. If you can catch it there, you can catch it anywhere. And 62% of people think that being single gives them the chance to be more spontaneous. I've got no plans tonight, so should I sob myself to sleep or comfort eat? Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. Sean, Tara, Doug, what have the nation been talking about?
George Michael. Hooray!
He was on crack.
Well, that's the thing.
Well, that's fair enough.
Tara, let's not people in glass houses. Start throwing stones. Do you think he's got a problem?
Yeah, I clearly think he's got a problem. But I like George Michael. I'm a big fan. I like his music, but I do think he does have a problem because he's on crack. He's caught in Hampstead Heath. I mean, how long have you got?
How dare he think he owns his own body and can do whatever he wants with it? How dare he? I don't understand why people that get in positions like that apologize. He's apologizing to his public as though he has any responsibility to...
Why is he apologising? Well, it does seem a bit odd, because most of the best music that's ever been created has been done on drugs.
Yeah, but not on drugs in toilets.
One of his fans has said he's done it because he's been on tour, now he's not on tour, and he's empty, he's got nothing to do. But I thought, when my granddad retired, he didn't start bumming and taking crack in toilets.
I think one of the reasons about the toilets, public toilets, there's a lot of tension in public toilets, especially men's urinals. If you're standing at your urinal with 5 or 6 other men, it's a very tense environment.
Yeah,
all you have to do is just do, like, a little shimmy, and it causes blind panic. It'll go, Jesus Christ! What's going on? What are you up to? They are very tense places, and there's also that I think he gets ideas. You know that nonchalant whistling they have in toilets? Where if you're in a toilet, you hear someone going...
What does that mean?
And it's really worrying when it stops. That's where I reckon he got the idea for the sax solo in Careless Whisper.
But they are disgusting as well. Bloke's toilet, basically, somebody went in about 15 years ago, got their cock out, started pissing and spinning round. And then every so often a member of staff goes in, signs the name on a wall and then walks back out again.
My favourite one is there's one on the A1 in the services, and it says on the outside of the toilet sort of thing, it says, these facilities are checked weekly. But if you don't care, don't check them. Yeah, check weekly. They open the door and go, that's a shithole. Job done.
I went to Knutsford Services and it said this toilet will be cleaned again in 26 minutes. There's a big countdown display. I got to tell you, I like watching the toilets getting cleaned as much as you do, but I'm not waiting 26 minutes. 20 minutes is the absolute cut-off for me. So I know what I'll do. I'll have half a shit here, push on and try and catch the cleaners in Kiel. That's what I thought.
Right, let's have a look and see whether George Michael is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story that George Michael has been arrested in a public lavatory again. George Michael does practice safe sex. He keeps one foot up against the cubicle door. Jason, Ulrika, Rhod, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
I think it's got to be David Blaine. He's supposed to be a magician, and his latest trick is hanging upside down for 60 hours. You're like, that's not a trick, is it? What happened to proper magic? And when you see a magician, you want to go, I wonder how he did that. Not, what a prick.
Right, let's have a look at a picture of the little fella in action. There he is. That's him upside down.
I used to hate David Copperfield till he came along. Now I quite miss the spangly blow-dried ponce. His formula of magic, whatever he does, seems to be really awkward, plus time, plus catheter. They're all about things where he can't really go for a piss.
How does the catheter work going up? Is there a nurse in the house?
There's George Michael's on the other end sucking it.
I met him once, actually.
Oh, go on, what did you think?
Yeah, and I really did believe he was magic in the beginning. And so then he said, can I take your number? And I went, well, that's fine. He goes, I'll remember it, just give it to me. And I went, 0783. He goes, can I just borrow a pen? So he clearly is not magic at all.
But that's what's annoying about his endurance tricks. They've got progressively worse and less impressive.
The first one was good when he stood up on...
You know, so he's done that. He stood on a pole for a long time, right? He was in some ice, right? He was in some ice. That was pretty impressive. And then gradually, you know, now he's like, I'm hanging upside down for a couple of days, and every so often I'm going to have a bit of a rest. And I expect his next one's just going to be, for my next trick, I'm going to put some fruit pastels in my mouth, and I'm not going to chew.
Jason, have you spent the first 2 minutes of the show writing with a biro?
Look at him. That is so funny.
Well, let's have a look and see whether David Blaine is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story of David Blaine hanging upside down for 60 hours. David Blaine is hanging upside down with only electromagnetic boots holding him up. Let's hope there's not a power cut, or we won't be able to watch him fall to his death. OK, Sean, back over to you. What else do you think the nation should be talking about?
Golf.
Golf. What about golf?
Ryder Cup. Actually, Europe lost the Ryder Cup to America. I think the weird thing about it is the BBC say, and the Ryder Cup is on Radio 5 Live. And you think, no, it's not. It's on Sky Sports, the Ryder Cup. Listening to golf on the radio has got to be the most pointless experience known to man. If you were a mole at the course, you'd have a better idea of what's going on. You'd just say, like, oh, I think it might be in. You listen to it, you go, he's knocked it quite near the hole, and it's a bit nearer, and now it's in. That's it. It's just the most pointless thing. It's better off just listening to central heating. Use of your time. That's all the BBC's got.
Did you watch any of the golf?
I hate golf. That's not true.
Why'd you say it then?
You are like a mystery wrapped in an enigma.
I know.
I hate golf. Aha, or do I?
The big story in the Ryder Cup was Sandwich-gate. They called it Sandwich-gate, which was... Nick Faldo got in trouble because he was holding a piece of paper with all the names of the golfers on and how they were going to play and how they were going to line up against the Americans. And someone took a picture of it, and afterwards he went... no, that was the sandwich order. That was a sandwich order for dinner. That wasn't anything tactical. It was a sandwich order. Like, Nick Faldo, the millionaire golfer, is also doing the catering for the tour. You're halfway through, but... Nick, get us an ham and pickle. All right, mate.
Have you ever played golf?
I have tried to play golf.
You've tried to play it?
Yeah, but I always break windows because I practice at home, and it always...
You always break windows? Yeah, you should practice outside, I think, is one of the key things.
No, I play outside, but...
It's a big house.
You golf
Jimmy.
overhand?
The next one's in Wales, isn't it? Next...
Yes, it is, yeah.
Ryder Cup. Newport.
Newport.
Yeah. Beautiful place.
No. Let's have a look and see if the golf was one of the most talked about things this week. I don't know much about golf, Nick Faldo, but if you can't get your players to chip a ball through a windmill and into a clown's mouth, you don't deserve to win. OK, Jason, over to you. What else have the nation been talking about?
Well, the front page of the papers were all about Gordon Brown having a kiss off his wife. And all the headlines in all the papers were kiss of life.
Kiss of wife.
Kiss of wife, of course. And stand by your man, that was another headline. Apart from the Daily Star, which headline was Robbie Williams in gorilla suit.
No, I thought it was quite interesting. It's incredibly well received, his speech today. And I thought there's a danger that Gordon Brown will think everything's going to be fine now, but I don't think that's the case. Because there's nothing that's going to save Gordon Brown. If he was assassinated, it wouldn't help him.
It's kind of like...
He could walk in with, like, Bin Laden on a lead, barking like a dog. Too late, mate. Too late. You haven't done enough.
Ulrika, do you support Labour? Do you like Gordon Brown?
He's like a bridesmaid who's really probably not meant to have ever been a bride.
If you're watching Spinsters, hi!
I did really quite fancy him when I met him.
You know,
I did.
Oh, he did literally. I thought we were going, oh.
Yeah, but I did screw Svenja and Eriksson too, so that is slightly... Allegedly.
What do you mean, allegedly? You just said it. You can only really do that about other people. Let's see if Gordon Brown is one of the most talked about things this week.
It's all our mystery.
Yes, it was the Labour Party conference this week. To stabilise the economy, Brown promised tighter financial regulations, and so long as he manages to implement them, by April of last year, we'll all be fine. Ruth Kelly has resigned as Transport Secretary in order to spend more time with her family. It's bad news for Gordon Brown, and terrible news for her family. OK, fingers on buzzers. One more thing to get. What else has the nation been talking about?
Is it this thing about apparently 1 in £50 coins is a fake? And you can tell if they're frayed at the edges and it's not very good, you know, not very good quality.
Spin.
Not very good. Sorry, what are you doing there? Scratch
Very good
cards?
quality.
I'm not from the north, so I don't do the scratch cards.
Yes, you are. They said you can tell that these pound coins are false is because you can test them in vending machines, that reliable piece of equipment, a vending machine, right? And I thought, when I've done that, you have done that thing, haven't you, when you put £1 in for a can of Coke or something and it's come back out and you do, then the next bit you, like, give it a little, make it wet, like, lick it a little bit and then put it back in, see if that works. And then I always do this last one where I try and take the vending machine by surprise. Where I just sort of hold it there just for a second and then just sort of go, is that Johnny Depp? Vending machine.
I can tell you that fake pound coins was not one of the most talked about things this week. But yes, this is the story that there are 30 million fake £1 coins in circulation. You can tell they're fake because if you look really closely, the Queen is Helen Mirren. One more thing to get things on buzzers.
Stonehenge?
Stonehenge.
Tara, I don't want to be niggly about the rules, but if someone else says it first, and then you say it directly afterwards...
You said it, Tara, though, like it was a trigger word for an assassin.
So, Ulrika.
They've been spending a long time trying to decipher what actually went on at Stonehenge, and it turns out that it was a place of healing, potentially. It's a bit like a sort of A&E department.
You're right, they said it was a hospital because a lot of the people that they found buried there had died from things like illness.
I want to hear what Tara's got to say, because you did say Stonehenge with such gusto.
I live near Stonehenge. Yeah, it is a place of well-being. Quick spliff, sunset. I always thought it was quite cool.
OK, let's have a look and see if Stonehenge is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story that Stonehenge used to be an ancient hospital. We know this because some of the patients from then are still on the waiting list. You can find out more about this story by watching Time Team, if there's absolutely nothing else on. OK, right, at the end of that round, I can tell you Sean's team have 2 points, Jason's team have 3 points. Our next round is called Pick of the Polls. Jason, you're to go first. What do you like the look of?
We're going to go with the monkey.
You've chosen the monkey?
Yeah.
13% of men believe a monkey could what?
Could talk?
13% of people believe a monkey could talk?
Men, not people.
Ulrika, we've all been hurt. You've got to move on. Let it go, let it go.
Is it carry a piano upstairs?
Could work.
It's kind of to do with work.
Could be a boss.
That's exactly right. You got it exactly right there. 30% of men believe a monkey could do their boss's job. Exactly right. Yes, 13% of men believe a monkey could do their boss's job. I prefer to see monkeys in their natural environment, cowering in metal crates, smoking B&H, with electrodes hanging out of their freshly shampooed eyes. I've just spotted a wizard up there. Hello, wizard. Sorry, we asked a question about Stonehenge and we really should have deferred to you. I love the Harry Potter films. Well done. OK, Tara, Sean, Doug, what do you like the look of?
Yeah, that one I should hammer all day.
He wants to hammer Sarah Palin all day long.
Do you?
No, not in that way. I think she's gross.
But you want to go...
When they say that, she's like really hot, and then you go, well, on what planet is she hot? Oh, she's hot for politics. She's hotter than John McCain.
OK, so you've chosen Sarah Palin. America is gripped by an election campaign which could see its first ever female vice president. So we polled the studio audience and asked them, do you want to see Sarah Palin in the White House? What do you think they said?
I think one of the really interesting things about her is that really all she's done is she's told a very good joke. She went out at the Republican thing and she did that joke. She said, what's the difference between a pit bull and a hockey mum? Lipstick. It's a good joke, and everyone goes, oh, that's a really good joke. And the thing I liked about it is it reminded me of the time that I put lipstick on a pit bull. And he was already pretty angry about the suspenders and high heels. So... We're going to finish the job! So you're not a fan? Obviously not a fan at all. You're disgusted.
I'm not a fan. I think it's a cheap, transparent ploy to get women to vote for her, and I think the scary part is it could work.
It's working.
'Cause women build their lives on cheap, transparent ploys like romance and all these things.
I love the way you had them all on your side, then you just went, fuck off!
Let's get a guess over here. We asked our studio audience, do you want to see Sarah Palin in the White House? What do you think?
This audience, no way.
I can tell you you're absolutely right. The answer is no. 72% of our audience do not want to see Sarah Palin in the White House. This week, Sarah Palin was introduced to 8 world leaders in 48 hours. It was considered a success by the Republican Party because she only shot 2 of them. Sarah Palin brings beauty, enthusiasm and charm to a job that requires experience, integrity and common sense. So at the end of that round, Sean, Tara and Doug have 3 points, Jason, Ulrika and Rhod have 4 points. The next round is Believe It or Not. In this round, I give the panellists a simple statement, and all they have to do is decide whether they think it's true or false. Here's a little clip to illustrate this statistic.
The city of Lincoln plays host to the Miss YTV contest 1980. One of the 15 lovely passengers is on her way to fame and fortune aboard this vintage fire engine. It's a perfect setting to find the girl nearest to perfection. The first prize is £500, a week's tour of Holland, and a year's contract to travel representing YTV at exciting events during the next 12 months.
Hello, Christine. Come and join me. Christine, you're a restaurant manageress.
That's correct, yeah.
Could you tell me how many staff you look after?
There's about 14 in all.
Any males?
Oh, yes, there's about 4 or 5. There's some gays as well.
Are there really? Do you have any problems with supervising males?
No, actually, because you find that they sort of share the same interests as yourself with being gay themselves.
Good luck with the competition, Christine, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Like Whitney said, they're looking for the woman closest to perfection. They sort of ruled out perfection, haven't they?
They also drove her in on a vintage fire engine. I mean, it was pretty crazy generally. 69% of people prefer brains to beauty. True or false?
Can't we have a little bit of each? If it's a choice of extremes, would you have somebody really beautiful, though, if they literally didn't have a brain at all, if they were incapable of any human activity?
That's the only chance of me getting somebody like that, to be fair. And also one of those things, I've never heard any of my mates go, "Whoa, you should have seen this girl last night. Well clever."
What would you go for, brains or beauty?
I always go for brains. No.
Well, you like tactics, don't you? Very defensive tactics, I might add. Lacks ability to use the wing-backs, that's what you go for. Someone who doesn't really use the wingers and bring the play forward. Doesn't connect the midfield to the attacker. It should never have taken Theo Walcott. That was a disgrace.
So you would go for...
I go for neither. I like thick, ugly women. It's just a roller coaster ride.
It'd be great if that was your taste.
Depressing, disappointing, worthless, hollow, meaningless relationships. You can you can do 10 in a day and nothing affects you. You can never get enough. It's like crisps.
Tara, you went out with James Blunt. What were you going for, brains or beauty or...?
Size.
You're looking for a massive twat. So 69% of people prefer brains to beauty. What do you think, Sean?
False.
I think it's true. I think it's
I've been
true.
overruled.
You think it's... OK, so your team thinks it's true?
Yeah.
OK, so you're going true. What are you guys going for?
I'm going to go false, then.
So you're going false? Well, I can tell you the answer is true.
Yay!
Yeah, 69% of people do prefer brains to beauty. The thing is, when you strip away the sexy clothes, the makeup and the French cut panties, what are you left with? An erection. So at the end of that round, it's 4 points for Sean's team and 4 points for Jason's team. It is neck and neck as we go into our final round, which is, and the winner is, OK, Britain's least popular present.
I bought my husband a Jimmy Carr live DVD.
You bought your husband a Jimmy Carr live DVD. Thank you very much for the money.
And he bought me one as well.
He bought you one?
Yeah.
What?
So
you
the
bought
two
each
of
other?
us. I know, isn't that weird?
Jimmy, the question was least popular present.
That was really unpopular.
Can't believe my luck. What's the worst thing you've ever been given?
My birthday's the day before Christmas, and my brother gave me a pack of 3 blank cassettes, one for my birthday and the other 2 for Christmas.
A pack of 3 blank cassettes?
Yeah.
Here, you like music, put some on this.
What about one of those adopt a donkey gifts that people do?
Which is really annoying. They give it to a village in Peru.
Yeah, exactly.
And you think, I'd really like a donkey.
I've got one. You can have one. I'll give it to you for Christmas, I
Really?
promise. I really will.
Wow.
I had,
Yeah, I've got 2.
Where have you got your donkeys?
At home. I promise you, you're going to get it.
Do I get a donkey outside my house, or I've still
If
got
you
this
want him,
notion
yeah.
of a donkey somewhere? This
these-
might be. They might have shot
Yeah.
it years ago.
If you sponsor a child or a donkey or anything like that, get them to hold up a paper, today's paper with it.
Yeah,
Like a
yeah.
hostage situation.
Yeah, I'm going to give it. He's called Charlie.
He's called Charlie. He's literally a drugs mule.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave show business. I'm going to do
I'm going to
donkey
give
rides.
it to you.
probably not the least popular, but it's the worst thing or the most confusing thing I've had. My mother bought me a torch with the power of 1,000,000 candles. Have you seen those? Because I've got no notion of how bright 1,000,000 candles is. Have you? I don't think in candles, to be honest. 100,000's got to be enough for any domestic situation, hasn't it? 1,000,000 candles for $3.99. That's going to spell the end of the That's going to spell the end of the single candle, isn't it? That's for a start. Tesco's do them in packs of 5 for $1.99. You're saving nearly 400 grand there, aren't you?
OK, Britain's least popular present. I'll tell you, it's meant to be kind of a sensual thing.
Chlamydia.
Is it those bath bombs?
I'll give you that, yeah, near enough. That's a great answer.
Bubbles.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, Britain's least popular present is bubble bath. Well, if they're not grateful for their bubble bath, why not throw in a toaster? OK, next question. Top way to annoy people on public transport.
I think it's voting for Boris Johnson is the best way to annoy people on public transport.
him.
Oh, what a
love
surprise.
Boris.
Looks to me, he looks like somewhere on his body there's a zip. And if you unzip it, you can just get in him and pretend to be him for a few hours.
Is it hanging upside down in electromagnet boots?
Is it talking in the quiet carriage?
I had a woman, it wasn't in the quiet carriage, it was in the regular carriage, and I got a phone call. And I did that thing of, you know, you take a phone call like you take it on the train. So you take it a little bit quietly and quickly. You kind of go, yeah, no, fine, yeah, OK. And she said, in the middle of my phone call, she went, I didn't buy a ticket to listen to your phone call. And I went, it's one of the bravest things I've ever done. I went, I just have to hold for a second because a woman needs to mind her business.
Did you do that?
I'm quite street. Watch yourself.
Actual music, like really tinny, shitty music out the back.
maybe wearing
That's really annoying.
That is the correct answer, yeah. Yes, the top way to annoy people on public transport is playing very loud music. I hate hearing that annoying tick, tick, tick from someone's rucksack. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Tara and Doug have 4 points, but Jason, Ulrika and Rhod are the winners with 6 points. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.